Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy a new Capenna Commander deck? Commander decks number 3 through 7 of the year are each set on new Capenna, featuring both reprints and original card designs in a fully constructed, ready-to-play right-out-of-the-box Commander deck. But at an MSRP of $45 each, with several already selling on the secondary market for more than that, just how worth it are these decks for a new player looking to get started in the format or possibly even the game? Which reprints of note are there, and which new cards offer the most to established players? Most importantly, how well do these decks play both against one another and against an established player's deck? All those questions and more are what's in store, so let's take a look. A rather significant change is that these Commander decks contain not one, but 2 Magic the Gathering Collector's Boosters. This is wild, because Collector Boosters cost $24.99 each, meaning there's $50 worth of booster packs alone in this $45 product. Now, Collector Boosters are not necessarily worth $24.99 each, that's just what they sell for. I personally think the idea of $25 standard booster packs, with what has consistently been the lowest quality card stock, curled foils, faded inks, and just the absolute absurdity of charging $25 for what isn't even a master's pack is something that stabs me in my soul, because someone somewhere keeps buying collector boosters just to spite me. But that's another video. Regardless of my personal opinions on collector boosters, them putting 2 in each Commander deck is really cool. Wait a minute. These don't come with 2 collector boosters. They include a collector booster sample pack plus legendary 2 traditional oh, come on. Okay, when I first saw this, I honestly thought that it was 2 collector boosters. I think it was made to look like that. It's got a sample pack. We'll take a look at what's in that in a moment. And in addition to that, of course, a new Capenna Commander deck contains a 100 card ready to play out of the box deck, which includes those 2 foils, as well as a foil etched display commander, 10 double-sided tokens, a paper life tracker, and paper box. Each deck has 15 original designs. And as for those collector booster sample packs, they have 2 cards in them that I guess can appear in a collector booster. Yippee! In all honesty, I think this is incredibly stingy on their part. At least just put a full set booster pack in. But nonetheless, what this is inconsequential in my evaluation. Maybe you'll open something big, you probably won't. There's a weird first one's free sort of vibe here, perhaps trying to get you hooked on collector boosters? I don't know. But disregarding the sample packs, what financial value is present here? At the time of recording, if you were to purchase every card in Cabaret Cacophony, you would be spending about $124.59. Obscura Operation would put you back, $175.10. Riveter Rampage would cost around $140.87, while Maestro's Massacre comes in at $115.18. Last, and in this case least, is Bedecked Brokers at $114.04, which, in all honesty, is not bad. No major discrepancy here. Yes, Obscura Operation is the highest, but each of these decks has reasonable value. Now, of course, each deck contains 100 cards, and even cards with a value at 25 or 50 cents will add up to a non-zero amount of cash. So what happens when we eliminate the bulk? If we were to look at the value of all the non-bulk cards, that is to say cards worth $1 or more, we would see that Cabaret Cacophony has a total of 31 cards of value, totaling $110.57. The major reprints include Kazul, Tyrant of the Cliffs, and Beastmaster Ascension, both popular Commander cards that steadily go up in price between printings, while Seize the Spotlight and Grand Crescendo are 2 of the most noteworthy cards in this deck. Obscura Operation has an impressive $165.64 worth of non-bulk cards, and that's helped a great deal by Smuggler's Share, which is currently priced at $29.02. A new piece of, you guessed it, white card draw, sure to be a format staple, like all the other white card draw. You got your white card draw? Get your white card draw here! Among those 41 cards of value are notable reprints such as Rexel, the Risen Deep, and a favorite of mine, Silent Blade Oni. Maestro's Massacre has a total of 29 cards worth $1 or more, and their value adds up to $109.98. The top card is their Face Commander, and Hello the Painter. But value-wise, there's also a copy of Lightning Greaves, which is always a welcome reprint. Riveter Rampage has Avenger of Zendikar and Crush the Blood Braided among its top reprints, while Protection Racket and Rain and Riches are its 2 top new cards. The value of its 35 non-bulk cards come in at $117.16. Bedecked Brokers, the last of the decks, has 33 cards valued at $1 or more, and those come to a total of $96.44. Resourceful Defense at $9.65 is the most valuable card in the deck, while some notable reprints include Slippery Bogbonder and Devoted Druid. Compared to the recent Neon Dynasty Commander decks, these decks are a step up, right back to where Commander precons should be. These were special products for such a long time, coming out only once a year and chock full of value. Now they have become somewhat ubiquitous, and often it seems like value within has declined. However, that is not the case with these new Capenna Commander precons, and I'm really happy to see it. All of them are worth over $100, while both Obscura Operation and Riveter Rampage are worth considerably more than $100. See Upgrades Unleashed and buckle up? This is how it's done. Perhaps the most notable reprint in each deck are the enemy-colored filter lands, first printed in Eventide. Each deck contains one of them. Why they don't have the corresponding ally color filter lands from Shadowmoor, I couldn't say, but the fact that they have at least one of these in them is great. And while the mana bases here are far from perfect for a commander deck, I do feel strongly that this is a significant improvement, especially when compared to previous 3-color outings. We are making progress here, even if there's still a lot of upgrade room potential. And while there's always still room for some spicier reprints, wait a minute, what's going on here? I just saw those cards. Oh no, this deck has errors. Look, I'm seeing double. So it's funny that this is one of the decks that I opened on camera, as it appears to have a print error in it. It's got duplicates of cards and is missing others. None of the other commander decks from this set that I opened on camera or off had this issue, and while it is disappointing, I guess I'm going to see how good Wizards of the Coast is at fixing quality assurance problems. Time to send an email. Certainly there's room for some spicier reprints, and as always, I would encourage Wizards of the Coast to add some more in the future, but as it is, these decks are really great in terms of financial value, but how well do they play? Cabaretti Cacophony is a deck that really wants your opponents to attack one another, all while you sit back and build up your forces. Kit Kano, Mayhem Diva, is the face commander, and she powers up your opponent's creatures all while turning their attention away from you. This is a fun sort of strategy that we've seen on precon commanders before, such as Marisi, Breaker of the Coil, and Thantis, the War Weaver, though I don't believe we've ever seen a precon deck built around it. I personally feel it could have used a bit more goad, but the bones of the strategy are there, and they're pretty solid. I actually had a lot of fun with this deck. Obscura Operation, on the other hand, is all about you attacking and gaining value by doing so. The face commander, Camise, Obscura Oculus, rewards attacking with card draw and creature empowerment, and many of the creatures in the deck are both difficult to block and produce extra value whenever they connect. We've seen a similar strategy recently with the blue-black rogues from Zendikar Rising, but this deck feels like it had a little more going on. There's also a minor graveyard theme to play along with the new mechanic Connive. You typically don't see aggressive strategies in Esper. I mean, Obscura. It's Esper. And this deck does a good job encouraging them. As someone who really enjoys that style of gameplay as well, I also had a good time practicing with this deck. Riveter Rampage brings us yet another combat-focused strategy, but one that relies on larger creatures that impact the board when they enter the battlefield. Henzi the Toolbox Torre is a commander that grants your big creatures blitz, allowing you to play them with haste at the expense of sacrificing them on your end step. On top of that, the commander reduces the blitz cost of those creatures by the number of times it has been played from the command zone. Of all the strategies so far, this one feels the most open-ended, especially in terms of just building your own deck around it or upgrading the precon. It's another one with good stuff through and through. Maestro's Massacre is the first of these decks to be, shall we say, indifferent toward the combat step. And Hello the Painter gives all of your instant and sorcery spells Casualty 2, meaning you get to double them as long as you sacrifice a creature with power 2 or greater. Spellslinger strategies are a favorite of many players, and this deck is just the thing. Several of the creatures return to the battlefield after they die, which is useful, and there is some token generation, but this deck feels like it's missing something. A Tolarian Sky Summoner, perhaps. That's the first card I'd add to it when I was looking to upgrade. Finally, we have Bedecked Brokers, a deck that cares about counters, all sorts of counters. Perry the Pulverizer puts shield counters on your creatures, then buffs them for every type of counter they have on them. +1/+1 counters decks have been a long format mainstay, so it's fun to see a new take on that strategy. It actually reminds me a bit of the black-green-white deck from Ikoria a couple years back, though it plays quite differently. All around, Bedecked Brokers is a fun strategy. While maybe not my favorite of the 5, I don't think there was anything terribly wrong with it, and I think a lot of players will enjoy getting some games in. All in all, from a gameplay perspective, I see balance, and most of all, I've probably had more fun playing with all 5 of these than I have in quite some time with Commander Precons. Unfortunately, with great value comes great secondary market markups. And even on Amazon, the one spot where Wizards of the Coast should be able to control and ensure there are no copies of their product selling for over $45 each, some of these decks are still going for as high as $55. Do not pay markups. No, not even if it has an included collector booster sample pack nonsense. If you can't find these at MSRP, or you're just not into any of the themes, or you're just willing to wait, then know that there's a lot of old Commander decks that are excellent, if not equal power level, that are going for $45 or less. Now, what I'm showing here is just a small selection from cardkingdom.com/TCC. Yes, sponsor of this channel. And yes, you can absolutely follow my affiliate link to see not only the Commander deals I've put together there, but a wide selection of my favorite accessories, or of course just the singles you need for the decks you want to play. But even if you just use this as a reference point for shopping at your local game store, know that your local game store may indeed have discounted or clearance decks. So go check with them, check out your local game store. Or if they don't have any deals, you can order online, possibly from my affiliate link or wherever you please. But no matter what you do not pay more than MSRP for Commander decks. They will always go down. Do not pay markups. Final conclusion, Commander Precons return to form with new Capenna, an excellent collection of decks, both in terms of gameplay and value. The collector booster sample pack is pointless. I would not factor it into these decks' values whatsoever. Nonetheless, players brand new to Commander can pick up any one of these 5 decks and play with friends, and established players will find a host of new and old cards to make use of in their decks. This product is everything Commander decks should be, and in my opinion, everything they once were. It's a solid A. I've actually ended up with an extra set of these, so I'm going to give them away to one lucky subscriber, shipped anywhere in the world. Just be subscribed to Tolarian Community College and leave a comment on yesterday's video. And on May 9th, I will pin one of those comments as the winner. Again, leave your comment on yesterday's video, the one right here, with Spice 8 Rack and Ristic Studies. Tell me what you think the best art is on the worst Magic card, or something like that. Just leave a comment, and on May 9th, I'll pick a winner and send a complete set of these to that winner anywhere in the world. If you already left a comment, that's fine. You're already entered. Just be sure to be subscribed. Do not pay markups. I hope very much this video has been of some help to you. You can help me out greatly just by sharing this video with a friend, hitting the like button, maybe hitting that subscribe button, and especially by leaving a message. Which one of the 5 do you like the most, and do you plan to pick any up? Let me know in the comments below. Wow, look at how cheap fetch lands are getting. I could really use a bunch for all my Simic Commander decks.
Well, then get a box of Modern Horizons too.
But that's $275. A playset of Misty Rainforests is $120.
But the box could have a ton of fetch lands in it, and if you crack all the fetch lands you need and sell everything else from the box, it's like you didn't even pay for them.
Yeah, but...
It's like you didn't even pay for them.
Need anything?
He'll take a box. So how many did you get?
2. An Arid Mesa and a Marsh Flats.
Well, you can trade those 2 in for a Misty Rainforest.
I need 4 Misty Rainforests.
Better buy another box.